all this? Is there a reason why you're saying all this? And can we talk about it later? I've gotta right my wrongs.
Welcome to the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos. Thank y'all for joining me again. Today, we will discuss just a few things in the sports world. Not a whole lot of action that happened on Monday and Tuesday. However, we did have Monday Night Football. The Giants lost that game 24-10. The Vikings did beat them. The new Purple People Eaters. The defense that's got everybody talking on ESPN, Fox, Undisputed, First Take, you name the show. I will say that the defense for the Vikings, they're very good. We watched the other night as Xavier Rhodes was in Odell Beckham's sleeves like turtlenecks. And the reason I say that is because turtlenecks, they do ride up you a little bit if you don't have them on the right size. I mean, hey. But in totality, Xavier Rhodes was all over Odell Beckham, and it got him a little frustrated. We saw Odell Beckham not be the same Odell Beckham that we see on all these different commercials. You know, I look at his stats. He had 3 catches for 23 yards. I mean, Odell Beckham, they need you to do more, sir. I understand that you're frustrated. People are targeting you, but you're a great player. That's going to happen. You know, the best wide receivers of all time, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Hines Ward, people, and the reason I use those people is because they created their own plays. They made their own plays. They understood that people would double, triple team them, move coverages around, try to frustrate them, but those guys did it on the field. So, Odell, you got to stop getting frustrated, my man. Play a little better. That's on you. Keep your emotions in check. You get paid a lot of money to make a lot of plays for the Giants, and they haven't won a Super Bowl with you, haven't had a playoff win with you. So for you to act the way you act, I just don't think it's justified. And also, Eli, be a leader, bro. When will Eli actually step up? I mean, I know he said something last game when he was yelling, doing all that stuff on the sideline, but Eli, when are you going to publicly call out your teammate on TV, in an interview, on the podium, and say, we really need him to stop acting like that. We need Odell Beckham to simmer down now. And the reason I say that is because, Eli, you've won 2 Super Bowls, got a Super Bowl MVP. Eli, you've been there, you've done it, you know how to win. So your job, being a 12th-year player, is to show these young guys like Odell Beckham on your squad how to win. And you need to do that first by stepping up and showing the rest of your teammates that it is your team. You may be quiet, Eli, but you are a proven winner, sir. Or am I wrong about that? Were those Super Bowls flukes? Was the one against the Patriots with a hurt Gronkowski a fluke? Was the one with Tyree catching the ball over his head and touching the ground? Oh, but not touching the ground? For the Super Bowl win to Plaxico Burress, which led to all that, was that a fluke? I don't know. But right now, I think that you're a guy who needs to show more leadership, Mr. Manning. Be like your brother Peyton. Not a shot. Another primetime game on Sunday night for the Giants. They got to play at Green Bay. I don't think they'll win that game. I think the Packers will get busy. Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, I don't think you can go in there and go wit for wit with Aaron Rodgers and throw that ball back and forth down the field because it will turn into a shootout. But I just don't think the Giants have enough bullets in that .35 caliber to consider themselves shootout worthy to play with a team like that with Jordy Nelson, who's healthy, Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams, who's playing better. Just don't think the Giants will have a easy time with the Green Bay Packers. Also, we flip right over to our boys with the bats. Our MLB wildcard game last night, really interesting game, 11th inning game, extra innings. The Blue Jays won that in fascinating style, walk-off home run. Blue Jays beat the Orioles 5-2. I really think this has turned into home of the bat flip. Jose Bautista had the epic bat flip last year with the walk-off. Blue Jays always have walk-offs at their crib. I mean, you go all the way back into the early 90s with Joe Carter for the World Series, Game 6 clincher. He hits the home run, runs around the bases, jumps up and down like an 80s movie. The Blue Jays, they have a great team with a lot of hitters. I think they have the potential to beat Texas, which is who they'll play next round. Edward Encarnacion hit that walk-off, Can he be the bat that stays hot in that series? Because we know Donaldson's going to hit. We know Batista's going to hit. But Encarnacion is that guy. Encarnacion and Tulowitzki, those are the two guys that have to come to swing for the Blue Jays, Toronto there, to compete with Texas. Also, I'm anxious to see how these two teams respond to one another. Because as you know, they did get into a bit of a scuffle earlier in the season where Odor hits Batista with a solid right hook. And when I tell you it was a solid one, sign him up to fight Pacquiao. I mean, Odor handled business. But that's going to be an interesting series just because of the chippiness between those two players and those two teams in general, hitting each other with pitches that led to that. Also, where was Zach Britton at for the Orioles? He's your closer, 47 save wins. You have to find a way to play Zach Britton, Buck Showalter. Come on, sir. I understand you want to save him in case you go extra innings, but there's do or die. You put a guy out there no matter what. So I look forward to seeing this Toronto Blue Jays and Texas Rangers series. Sorry to the Baltimore Orioles, hit the most home runs in baseball this year, partly because their park is kind of small, Camden Yards. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Look forward to seeing the new playoff series. Now, I can slide over to NBA preseason. Now, we'll get into a hoops preview that I'll be doing for you guys soon. However, a few things that I noticed last night, just from looking into a few things and seeing a few highlights. Joel Embiid, he looks great. The guy is moving well. Can he stay healthy for Philly? He had 13 minutes last night, 6 points, 4 rebounds. Can Joel Embiid stay healthy for that team? Because as we do know, they've got many other issues as well. Ben Simmons, who injured his foot, and he's got to have surgery on that foot. He fractured his 5th metatarsal. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a doctor or a person who specializes in anatomy. However, I do know that that's a toe. So jumping, needing your foot to do that recovery time, not sure how long that will be. They said the time limit is unknown, so we don't know yet. However, I do know that Ben Simmons, he put on a lot of weight, 33 pounds since he left LSU. Maybe that contributed to this foot fracture because you put too much weight on too fast, you're going to have issues. I don't care who you are because you got to do it the right way. We don't know how he did that on, whether he was on some kind of stack supplement or some type of creatine, but he put the weight on. So maybe that contributed to this fractured foot. For the agent to come out and say he may not play the entire year, I don't think the Philadelphia Sixers organization, I don't think they have enough patience and their fans have enough patience with them to sit down a guy like Ben Simmons who is supposed to be the next LeBron James. I don't think they have any more patience there in Philadelphia. These fans have been waiting for you all to put together a team, and you've got Embiid back. He looks really good. He's big. He's mobile. He stepped out and can shoot the 3. So if he can turn into a stretch 5, I really like his positioning there on that team with a Ben Simmons added to distribute the ball and have a big man down low. Of course, they've got to have a point guard as well, but we'll get into that later. Also, just a quick tidbit about the Warriors. Those guns were blazing last night. They were in midseason form in Oakland. They beat the Clippers 120-75. I really like the way that they moved the ball around. I was curious to see how they would do that with a Kevin Durant, with a Klay Thompson, with a Draymond Green, with a Steph Curry. But Steph Curry did all his cooking, and KD did all his shaking and baking. So I really think that the Warriors can find a way to mesh that entire thing together and transcend it into more than just this figurative super team. Actually be great, potentially. But we'll have to see about that. Now, Wednesday night, tomorrow night, we've got a little more tonight, Wednesday night, we've got some baseball action again. San Francisco Giants versus the New York Mets. Madison Bumgarner versus Noah Syndergaard. Syndergaard's picked it back up as of late. He struggled midsummer, but I think Madison Bumgarner, he's shown that he knows how to perform in the playoffs. Even though they're on the road, I think the Giants win this game versus the Mets. The Mets have been scoring a lot of runs, but I think the Giants can win it with Madison Bumgarner with that playoff experience on the mound. It's a funny game for the Giants. I mean, they're at the party, barely got there in a station wagon. They gave up that lead late, as I said, after the All-Star break. However, they have the ability to amend all those mistakes that were made in their road to the playoffs by simply winning this wild card game and getting into that next series. The Cardinals versus the Niners tomorrow night on Thursday. Both are 1-3. It's a division game. Carson Palmer hurt. Drew Stanton, this guy. What are you going to do, Drew Stanton? You're the starter now. Can you help uplift this team, Arizona, into what it was supposed to be, a promising season? Or will the Niners be the ones who turn their season around? Because everybody knows you don't want to go 1-4. 1-4. Already this first quarter of the season, it's been pretty tough with the 1-3 record. You got to think the season's broken up into 4 quarters. There's 16 games, so if you go 1-3, 2 of those, you've already lost 6. So you want to try to go, 3-2, 2-3. You keep it in that range and for a 5-game range. But this is going to be a crucial game for this division. Chip Kelly, come on, Chip. Open it up. In my opinion, Chip Kelly, you've got a gem there in Colin Kaepernick. I understand you like Blaine Gabbert. I've never thought Blaine Gabbert was a great quarterback. I don't know why the San Francisco 49ers continue to pay this man money to play for them. I've watched him over the years. Yeah, he's having an okay year this year, but Blaine Gabbert has never been much to me at all. So you've got Kaepernick there. You had a Darren Thomas in college. You had a Dennis Dixon in college. How about, Chip Kelly, you take Kaepernick, who ran the spread at Nevada, and go ahead and allow him to run that offense? Maybe it may turn things around. I can't be worried about if there's going to be backlash because of all this national anthem business. I can't worry about that. I'm there to coach a football team, Chip Kelly. Place Colin Kaepernick in that offense and watch it explode. Zoe knows what he's talking about. Now, also, on Friday for our next show, we will be discussing Saturday and Sunday matchups. Plenty of talk about what the big games are for the weekend and Zono's predictions. So please stay tuned. Zono's hoops as well. So you will get that basketball preview soon. First game of the NBA season, the 25th. It'll be our preview show will be done a week prior to the opening of the season. So just in a few weeks, we'll jump into our preseason hoops, as well as for college basketball shortly after that. Now, I must say thank you so much for watching the Zono Sports Show, where Zoe knows.